AsalaamuAlykum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am your sister Naomi Saif. Today I wanted to share what my experience was like the very first time I did Ramadan. Now I took my shahada kind of unofficially, officially, but I believe I took my shahada a little bit after Ramadan. Like Ramadan, I did Ramadan, and that cemented, that convinced me that I wanted to be a Muslim. Alhamdulillah. When I started my spiritual journey, I came upon Islam. I did not think that I was going to be Muslim. I was just looking into it, and I was taking things that I felt were things that Isa alayhi salam would have wanted me to do. I was a Christian at the time, and when I heard of this fast, it reminded me of when Jesus alayhi salam fasted, when Musa alayhi salam fasted, the fast of the prophets, peace be upon them all. And so I definitely wanted to do it. I didn't think I could. My first impression when I understood the fast was, I'm going to die. She is like my sister. But she's my sister-in-law. She is my husband. Anyways, Takiti, I love you. So when my husband at the time, who was, giving me information, he lived far. He was in California and I was in Michigan. So he was kind of giving me information and things like that. And then I had, Takidia. When they explained to me that, number one, oh, wow, you came during the perfect time. Ramadan is around the corner, I'm like, wow, what is this? It's so cool. What is it? It's like, okay, so you're going to fast. And then I was like, oh, okay. So what can I fast? I'm thinking of a Daniel's fast. We, going back to the church, the Bible, or where you pick a certain thing. No, you're going to go without food and water. I was really scared. I was not even juice, no gum, nothing. But alhamdulillah, they reassured me that I would live and I would be okay. And that it was only during these hours. So, and number one thing, especially with Takidia being there with me, is that I would not be alone. Alhamdulillah. And I have to say that my very, very first day fasting, I was just with my children, and I don't remember the details of that specific day. I do know that Takidia would, she would call me. She would send me text messages. I would get reminders of the prayer times. She also taught me how to put the alarms on, the cell phones, and the adhan will go off. So alhamdulillah, I had that to keep me going. I had already been praying. So getting up for Fajr was, I wasn't used to it, but I was already getting used to it. Alhamdulillah. So I wasn't alone, but I was physically alone during that very first day. But I didn't feel alone. And that was the beauty of it, is that throughout the day, I don't remember if the kids were in school. They were not in school. Actually, it could have been I don't remember. Actually, I think it was in August. I don't remember. But all I remember was that I was being reassured that I was okay. And with each salat, it was getting closer and closer and to break my fast. And the very, very first time that I broke my fast, I just started crying. I was just so overwhelmed with emotion. I was thinking of how many other people were participating in this wonderful, wonderful act of worship. And I felt as if I was in a room full of people. It was just such an awesome feeling. I assumed that by the time it was time to break my fast, that I would be just, and I almost had the feeling I don't want to let it go, so, but I broke it and I felt wonderful. It was a relief, not only physically but spiritually, and it was so beautiful, alhamdulillah. So that, was the very first time that I fasted. That was the very first day. And then during that first Ramadan, alhamdulillah, like my sister-in-law Takia was there. I had at the time I was living in Michigan, had horrible seasonal allergies, and the very first few days, because I couldn't take anything, I was stopped up. I had hay fever, and alhamdulillah, I was trucking it through. And she would encourage and remind me to take garlic for suhoor and to, do certain things. And my husband as well was calling and checking up on me. And alhamdulillah, after a few days, I got it, as far as my seasonal allergies. And just when I thought that I was like, okay, I can do this, I'm in the Midwest. It's a gazillion degrees with a humidity level of 100%. And I know, see, this was 6 years ago, going on 6 years ago. This was 2010. I had locked myself out of the car twice. So if you can imagine, I am locked out of my car with 4 kids in Midwest humidity, August, sticky weather. And I'm running to the store to buy my kids ice bottles of water. And I just hear, oh, just go ahead and take a drink. But alhamdulillah, again, my sister-in-law and my husband, they rushed, and she came and she helped unlock my door. My dad came, so alhamdulillah. So I don't know if I could have done it without the support of my sister-in-law and my husband at the time. My husband, I don't know. Even my dad was very, understanding. He didn't, I was explaining to people that I'm not going to be eating or drinking anything during these time frames. And it was so awesome to have that support. So alhamdulillah, if you also are a convert and you want to share your first Ramadan, or maybe this is your first Ramadan, please leave a comment and share. What are your experiences now? If this is your first, what was your experience then? Assalamu alaikum.